was like.
No, it was a completely different way, and whatever emotionally was going on with these families or with these children, they needed to provide an education for them. Right. So Miami was thrown into, okay, what do we do now?
Right.
You know, and so they had to provide education, and they developed the ESOL levels 1 to 4, you know, to see where they could place the children and then match their educational skills, because it wasn't fair to receive these children and not find the proper skill set to teach them. It wasn't. It wasn't fair to them. There was several instances of children that had the education and had the experience and had the knowledge, but they didn't have the language.
The language barrier was a big issue,
right?
Which still is the issue today. We see,
right. And so it became not fair to those children to hold them back when they had the skill set. They just didn't have the language. The language was the only thing holding them back.
Right.
So,
and I see it I remember even as someone that's dual language, right? Whether it's Spanish, or English, whatever. There's always that issue where you see a kid. I remember even in my own experience where I remember math is never my forte. Right? Which many of us is, right? I always say if you teach social studies, English language arts, math is not your forte, and vice versa.
100%.
Right? People that teachers that teach science and math are like, social studies and English? No way, right? It's like, good luck. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it. Right? Am I wrong?
No, 100%.
Right? I think it's the same, right? It hasn't changed, that perception. And some of them do it all, and you're like, great, God bless. But I remember as a kid, and correct me if I'm wrong, where you would see kids, regardless if it was, in this case, the Marielito, migration of kids in that time period for Cuban Americans, but you would see kids that would be like algebra, right? Because different countries have different level, but they would be put in remedial strictly because of the language. Right. And it was very heartening because it would discourage them. It would really kill their confidence.
Sure.
And speaking about that, just elaborating a little bit, as a teacher, and I can only imagine, I'm experiencing a little bit of that now, right, with the influx of what's going on in Cuba and Venezuela and so many other countries around the world. But there's always a rotation of immigration issues. But in that case, in the Marielito, it's hundreds of thousands. So, and especially being in Miami, where you're 90 miles from Key West, from Cuba, what that was like, and so much of teaching, and you can elaborate this more, and I guess it's more of a question, how was that for you dealing